Well, good evening, everybody. It is 4:29 for you Ford freaks out there. Yes, it's your semi-hemi day, right? Semi-hemi day. I am Dennis, and I'm joined with Fluno, and we're going to be talking about some new stuff and some classic stuff. And tonight, what the big thing I want to talk about is, I've seen a lot of comments lately about other cars being for collectibles. So we're going to go and look at 1990s cars and see if anything American made is actually worth a damn for collecting, because I'm not really sure of this. I know European absolutely is 90s are collectible, but American not so great. Hey, two Diesel Larry, maybe pickup trucks. Hey, because maybe pickup trucks, because two Diesel Larry knows about that. Because in the 90s, actually, you had the Ford F-150 Lightning. I mean, that's something. Was that the 90s? Yeah, it was the 90s. It was that weak, really
the 98
soft
body style. I believe it
soft,
started.
yeah.
I could be wrong. Yeah, the
soft one. Yeah, so that was kind of pondering that, and I've had a very busy week. I've been really focusing on kind of trying to help people keep their cars going, because this is like an ongoing thing. I get a lot of comments about that, like just finding parts or doing things. So I'm trying to make videos based on that, because there's a lot of questions out there, and actually I've seen a lot of creativity. But the one thing I think I got probably got to focus on this summer, really working on, is get a 3D printer and start trying to put that to task. And let's see, we got Jamie Cotton, we got Sue M. Hi, Sue M. So yeah, because it's pretty horrendous right now. And I had an incident today where we bought a carburetor kit, and the carburetor kit did not fit. So yeah. Hey, Autobot Al, how you doing? Yeah, so the intrepid reporter Fluno was out and about today, and he was daring and went on a CDJR lot. I like saying a CDJR lot, and snapped some photos of some Chargers that are sitting there, because that's what all of them are doing right now, sitting. Right now, 100 miles from my house, there is 440 Chargers for sale. Last week, there were 432. So they're obviously not going anywhere, because the number keeps getting bigger instead of smaller.
Well, 440, at least that's Chrysler heritage.
Yeah, it's true, but that's about it. So, all right. So, let's take a look at this. So, this is up there in Ocala land.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, so these are just, you can't even tell what they are just looking at the front of them, right? I mean, I think that one on the right is a scat pack, a 6-pack, or whatever the hell they call it.
Yes, that's an RT as well.
Oh, so okay, wait. So see, that's the thing, because you can't tell if it's an RT or a 6-pack from the front, right?
Yeah.
No, okay. So these were just kind of on the lot. Now the I think the black ones you don't pay extra for, but you pay $700 for that blue paint.
That's right. I forgot about that extra. I looked at the stickers on all of them, and we'll get to that. But this was me just rolling up for the teaser I sent you with your man on the street doing recon here.
Wait, I'm going the wrong way.
Prank call.
Prank caller. Okay, so all right, so this is an interesting color, and I saw this, and it doesn't look good online, but obviously it looks much better in person.
Yes.
I don't even know what they call this color.
I don't know either, but it really is my opinion, great looking color. Really? If nothing else, it goes with that car. I'm not saying it would look great on the your Civic, okay, but or even an SUV, but on that car with that goldish green pop, it just had a really cool vibe to it that kind of puts you in a different time frame. That's how I kind of felt. It's a big car. It's not a small vehicle at all. It's actually
it's bigger than my Charger. It's bigger than my Charger.
Heck yeah, yeah.
My Charger's 206 inches long, and these I think they're actually much longer than that. And it looks it. It's also a wide ass car too. No,
Yes,
Autobot. It's not gunmetal. It's I'm looking up the color right now. It's some sort of green.
It's a green gray gold with the way the light hit it, and except for that, but the sad thing is, well, there's a lot of sad things about everything.
Many sad things with this car.
Look, even like the quote, and I don't want to even say the word base because that doesn't count, but
there is no base
just
one.
The stock rims even look good, and I'm going to mispronounce it, but like that Frogzoid or whatever the logo, it reminds me of my mom's 71 Polara, and my mom's car was kind of that last Challenger Charger green. So I have a little Mopar history, as well in my family, and it's just really a shame where, as I've told Dennis even before the show, not that I would do anything rash, but if that was like, say, even base 35,000, they'd be one flying off the lots. And the four-door looks great too. It's really might not be super practical, but it actually does look good. Again, yours truly's opinion. Quality control aside, engine aside, it's a good-looking car. And there's no one on a lot. Now, here's the best part of the story. I mean, well, the worst and best. I come pulling in. Here comes this nice washed Kona, because I was detailing cars today. And it was a beautiful day out. And I come rolling in a lot, and I see a couple salesmen in the gazebo, the quintessential gazebo. And I pull around, and I go, and I park. I'm getting ready. I am ready for the attack. And now one person spoke to me. All the cars were locked. I wandered and only someone's area, but I stood out there. Beautiful sunny day. No one else on the lot. No other customers. No other cars driving around. Nothing. And now
wait, this is a green machine. Okay. It's just that it's weird lighting on it. Did they have any things showing how much money they're throwing on the hood of these cars?
Like I said, it was very bright, so I was focusing mainly on the sticker.
I don't see anything on the
If I remember anything, and because all the stickers now are in the windshield area.
Yeah.
If I am correct, and I could be wrong on the different, because there was another green one as well, the blue. There was a really cool looking red too. I believe that car right there, the sticker is $70,000.
Are you serious?
For the Super B, 70 grand. One of them was the cheapest I saw.
Jesus.
The cheapest four-door was 51,000. Another four-door I saw was around 54-ish. And the two-door started, the cheapest two-door was 54. And then like a 57, 58. And then I saw, I think, a 61 and a 70,000. $70,000.
All right, so this car looks like it has scratches on it. I'm looking at this picture. It looks damaged. This right here, there's like a line on this, and then down here, those are scratches. Brand new car. I mean, it's a brand new car
with $700 paint job.
Oh wait, there. That's a palm tree, but that is something. I don't know if that's water from washing it, but that looks bad. That's a palm tree. That doesn't look good.
Well, and here's the funny part. I was the whole time as I'm just kind of aiming and taking pictures, because like I said, it was very bright. I'm waiting to get attacked. And so I was trying to focus figuratively and literally, but I was also keeping my surroundings in case I was attacked. And I was there for about 15 plus minutes. I wanted someone to unlock the door for me. I would have told him. In fact, Dennis, I would have said, look, I'm being straight up with you. My friend runs a channel, Mopar based. He has a yada, yada, yada. I like to just look at this car. I'm doing some recon. I wouldn't have been nasty, obviously nasty or anything.
You just want to look at the cars.
Yeah. I mean, and yet I saw the two guys that they should have been like, oh, there's a human on our lot with this new vehicle SUV. Maybe he's ready for his sports car again. And nope. No one ran out of the showroom. No managers.
I mean, it's kind of weird. Are they that defeated at this point?
I'd be blacked out. There's no way I could even be there.
I mean, because it looks like these things are just sitting here.
Yeah, and that's all they have, by the way. The pictures I kind of took, that's one row, that's it.
That's all they. Wow, damn. Wow. So I mean, and it's not like they're flying off the lots because I haven't seen one in the wild yet. So it's not like
I saw one on the road, and it was in a really cool dark gray. I was going to
that's Destroyer
lunch.
Gray, yeah. So this is the excitement going on right now at the CDJR dealerships. The car is stillborn, and actually now I'm starting to see. I called it early, but now I'm starting to see other channels starting to talk about that this car is a bomb. I was seeing stuff on Facebook, and it was just kind of Two Dizzy Larry's asking any diesels on there, any 3500 dualies.
Well, I drove through the Ram area, and this was really my main focus today. I'll do that next time for you. It's 2 miles from my house. I'll be more than happy to check things out for you.
Yeah, get a Cummins dually. But
what is it like the dually? The
dually? That's Two Dizzy Larry's all about the dualies. He's all about the dualies, sir.
But I'll do some recon for him.
It finally people are starting to realize that this car is a dud, and it's just getting worse as time goes on. That they're not moving because they just missed the target. And if you look at other channels, really big channels that focus mainly on newer stuff, their videos on this car get no views. None. Like 10,000 views, like nothing. It's literally nothing. Like OC Motivator has a video from that's a month old on this car, and nobody's watched it. And he has a giant channel. Nobody's watching it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about this car. It's pretty amazing. Oh, here we go. Jamie Cotton. What happens to new cars that don't sell? What do they do with them? They sit on them and eat them. And they eat them. I mean, literally, it gets to the point where they have to actually start paying American cars are different, but they actually have to start really paying, like at this point, Stellantis, because the car's sitting there.
Yeah, because they're on floor plan.
Right. But after a while, you start having to pay real money back because they want their money. It's left their factory. And so it just sits because you can still find a Challenger on a CDJR lot that's 3 years old that's brand new.
Yes.
I don't know why you'd want to buy that car. It has rot lot. That's what we always call it, is rot lot, because everything is old on the car now. The tires are going to be square because it's sitting. They're also 3 years old, so they're pretty much done. The car won't run right because it's been sitting with gas in it. And, when they start them up, they only move them around a little bit. Like they'll move them one part. They don't get hot and whatnot. So you're looking at it's not good. But they're going to be eating. If they don't sell these cars, I think they give them 6 months before they start.
I was about to say, usually the norm is on curtailments is when it hits 180 days, you're cutting the full check.
Yep. So you
and that's why the old adage of moving metal in an old age unit, you can normally work the deal a lot better because at this point they got to pay it off, and they'll lose here and make big over here, and it all washes. But those days are gone.
Yeah, so
there never used to be tons of old age units. That was like a rarity.
So basically, these Stellantis dealers are going to be screwed with these cars if they don't start moving, because a lot of them came in January, and by the summertime, they're going to be eating the steel. And this is not a great situation for them, and I really feel bad for the salesman. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I really actually do, because it's their livelihood, and they're just. You sell what you're given, and you're not getting a lot.
Like I said, I am not going to beat this dead horse, but I geared up. But then I was we're looking forward to having an actual conversation with someone and really talking and getting some intel, opening the interior. I want to see how good or bad it is. I mean, I kind of like the interior, and what I was really liking, of course, I like the expensive one, of course I do, but with the real leather, and yet. That's your livelihood, like you just said. You would think they'd be like, wait a minute, is someone actually looking at this? What is this guy doing?
I think they're just beaten down at this point.
They're beaten down.
So this is kind of a little joke thing going along with this because I've been wondering this. So
who's this guy?
That
Who's
is
missing?
That's Tim Kuniskis. He has been missing since the beginning of February. He is Mr. Hellcat, and he has been missing. He has. I have not seen a press conference from him. A news report of a current news report. The newest one I found is from February. So this dude is missing. And yeah, if anybody has any information on Tim Kuniskis, please let me know because he is just completely able. You remember he ran Dodge for years. He ran Dodge, but then he did not get Chrysler when Chrissy stepped down. They didn't give him Chrysler, which is really weird. And he's supposedly running Ram, but I haven't seen or heard from him. It's really been weird. So that is something I just came up with. I think it was kind of funny. The missing Stellantis executive. He's just missing.
Right. He's not like some like low hanging fruit guy. I mean, this is like a really big name.
He's a big name, and he's also their best PR guy. He literally is their best PR guy, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of him, and now it's over almost 3 months. It's going to be 3 months soon. Like he used to do press release, like meet the press, do stuff, every other week when he was running Dodge. You couldn't get away from the guy. And now I don't see anything. I hear nothing from him, and it's really weird. So, all right. So while we're at it, we're gonna quick update on First Brands because, well, nothing's happening. I mean, literally, they're trying to keep stuff from closing, and but they're literally at the let's see, the woman CEO of Ford was on Fox News at 6:30 defending their EVs. There's no woman CEO of Ford. I mean, unless you're talking about what's his name? I can't think of it. Jim Farley. Unless you're talking about Farley, he's like a broad. No, the woman CEO is the head of General Motors, Barra, and she's not the brightest. I honestly think she was just put there so when it fails, they would just blame her. So First Brands, see, they're not going to be they're going to end of May, I guess, is the drop dead for firing people. It found out though that the Wall Street Journal, it just came out in court yesterday that there are 2 sets of books. Shockingly enough,
wow,
two sets of books. I mean, you talk about being corrupt, man. This is pretty impressive. This is Cosa Nostra kind of stuff here.
Yeah, that's
pretty impressive. But honestly, nothing's sold yet. Nothing has been moved, and they're trying to keep everything from shutting down. I've seen no talk of asbestos, or any of the brake divisions, which is really scary because the brake divisions are what we really need a lot of because brakes are a very wearable item. And it's hard now to find, for American cars, it's hard now to find brake parts. Extremely hard at this point because they're gone. Horatius, he misremembered. Yeah, it was Barra. But you know what, though? General Motors is so funny. You have that CEO talking about their EVs, whatever, but all their engineers and their marketing people are building V8s.
And that's all over the news. I'm seeing that left and right.
I mean, they literally are just building new V8s, and they're really going hard on V8s. So there's such a weird dichotomy there. So I don't get it. No, Ford's not making a deal with China. Farley was talking about that. I know that Farley was talking about BYD wouldn't do it here, but they're also in talks with one of the Chinese brands. I don't know what for, but anytime you deal with the Chinese as general in business, it's not a good deal for you because they very much they put it's them first. There's a win at all costs kind of business thing for them, and yeah, it's not the best. So yeah, I haven't heard anything else. This hurts the stuff in passing. Nothing's been concrete. So speaking of EVs, we might as well have a little fun here because I like this. Slate's electric truck debuted a year ago, and the silence is becoming deafening. So basically, everybody made a big deal about the Slate, just like Ford's talking about their cheap truck. Nobody cares. If gas could be $6 a gallon, no one would care. Nobody wants this. It's amazingly hilarious that nobody is buying this, that nobody's talking about it. Like the deliveries are supposed to start late this year, but it just isn't. I haven't heard any news things about it. They have all these reservations, but I'm not seeing any news articles. This is like the first news article I have found on this
in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just everything about it is just boring and bland. And I would rather get the $28,000 Ford Maverick because at least I don't have to worry about charging it. I can drive a Ford Maverick from here to Oregon, and I take any roads I want as long as there's a gas station. Hey, Vintage 76, how you doing? So I mean, honestly, yeah. And there's just been no buzz about it. No one cares. I mean, it really is funny how no one absolutely cares about this truck. And then of course this one, Bollinger, completely folded. Yeah. So manufacturing equipment.
Is that the old school Range Rover, the one who bought the dies for that, or is that a different company?
It might be them. They just, I don't know. It's another. I mean, there's a lot of EV companies that have failed.
Oh, never mind then. This is electric. I'm sorry. No,
it's electric. No. Yeah. So it's. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's once again, the cart before the horse, and no one cares. I mean, it really is amazing how no one cares.
It's interesting you bring this up because, like the one channel I was from, All Cars with John, a long time ago, he brought up the Slate, and I do like how he brings up novel information, whether it be the new Scout or something here or there. Even if it fails, he talks about a lot of interesting things. And I remember when this came out or was talked about, and it's amazing that you threw it out because I completely forgot about it. I literally forgot about this vehicle. And I remember when it was discussed, oh, wow, it's 25 grand. Oh, that sounds great. But we haven't added anything yet, like, a glove box. And everything is like super optional. Like there's no tech at all. So when you're all said and done, you're like 35,000 plus. And you're like, it's a mini cart. It's a mini truck.
So literally it's like the way Volkswagen was way long ago, or Porsche was, where everything became an option on the car. Like literally Porsche, a glove box was an option. It didn't come on the car. You had to order it. So I mean, I don't know. I it's a gimmick. To me, the Slate thing is a gimmick. And the one thing that always, it should concern people is that, any of these products only need to have 7 years of support. That's all the government really forces them to do is 7 years. I mean, if you're trying to keep that, and with an electric product, there's no way just to do your own stuff to make it go. So in like 8 years, you now have a toxic paperweight that you can't do anything with. I mean, it's really kind of fascinating because at least a gas powered car, at worst, you could swap. I mean, even on a modern car, you could do this. I mean, granted, it would not pass sniff test in a lot of states, but you could just change the drivetrain. You put a whole new drivetrain in the car, put a whole new engine. You could just drop it in there and go. Because my friend was thinking about doing this. He lives in Tennessee. He thought about buying a new Challenger and putting like an old engine in it.
Oh God!
Put an old like a 440 in it, But make it fuel injected, but put a 440 in that new car. You open the hood, oh my God.
Yeah. How sad is that? That's what we got to do now. The old with the new.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. I guess it gets lost on that is that with these electric appliances, there is no way to MacGyver the car to keep going once the car is done. And then we're going to start talking about 1990s cars for collectibles. Later on, I have a few articles on it, and actually several. And the thing is, every last one of those cars, I could find a way to keep them running. Whether or not parts are readily available, I can keep the car running. Because even if you have a cracked cylinder, you sleeve it. It's fixed. You can keep running the car. That's just like a brand new engine. So, I mean, this is where the insanity of the whole thing really sits with me, is that you don't have control over your own car. And it's not even about charging it, which is another problem, or storing it so it doesn't catch fire and kill you. It literally is, hey, and like my truck's 10 years old now. And honestly, I could still get parts for it. And, I mean, it still runs and it's fine. And honestly, I can go work on it if I wanted to. I can go get aftermarket parts and just change stuff out. You can't, if it was a 10-year-old Tesla, I'm screwed with whatever it has. So there's that.
Oh, and two quick things I want to say. We were talking earlier about cars on the lot. Well, as bad as a ICE, as they say now, gas powered car is on the lot, where you can swap the tires, put new hoses on, get it running, kind of get it back, which they should run more often. These electrics that have been sitting on the lot for 2 to 3 years, it's a whole different ballgame. And I've watched videos on this too, where it's not the same, obviously, as it's sitting outside, and it is, like Dennis says, an appliance, and it's degrading as it sits. Yep. And the second thing I would say is, you brought up Slate, which thanks for reminding me, but I saw another article, I believe, that talked about how Scout, which Volkswagen was reintroducing, there's some now glitches going on in a potential lawsuit, I believe, because of deception or something ridiculous, where lost money as typical, and it's not launched on time, if I'm correct in that.
It's actually over a year behind, and in fact, they're not even sure if that date is actually doable. I mean, it is an utter, the thing is that Scout would have been really simple. All you had to do is build it, make it look like the old Scout, put your Volkswagen turbo diesel in it, and call it a day. Just be done. Call it a day. Right. And you would have been fine. You would have sold a bunch of them, but nope, we had to make it this electric thing. And now you're years behind. You've spent tens of millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, and you have nothing to show for it.
I almost begin to wonder if this is all, a major, like a First Brands ruse, because you shouldn't have
it's all a scam.
Paper. Oh, we'll be ready. A scam. Yeah, a scam. Hey, we'll be ready in 2 years. Oh, we're really sorry. We need $1 billion more, but we promise in 2 more years.
In software, we and a lot of things, we call it vaporware, where it is talk about a thing actually, and they just get money for it, and then it's not going to come out, and that happens. And the EV thing is almost like that. It is a grift. I've called it a grift. It is a grift, and there's no other way around it, and they keep going back to the well, which I don't grasp. So go figure. Speaking of going to the well and stuff I can't grasp, we're going to talk about Stellantis real quick, because this is actually really damning. I don't know if you saw this, where basically my favorite CEO, Filosa, he's under a lot of fire right now, especially in Italy, because the Italian brands are suffering. So they're going to focus on 4 groups, and Dodge and Chrysler are not in either one of them. Both companies with no product are not going to get any money to develop anything.
Hmm.
That is literally what we're talking about. So they are going to throw money at Jeep, Ram, Peugeot, and Fiat. And the thing is, the reason they're throwing money at Fiat is because the Italian government is all over them. Peugeot because the French government is all over them. And Jeep and Ram because it's the only thing they make money on, even though Jeep is getting very questionable at this point. So they had this big thing, and they say they're going to throw extra money at Jeep, Ram, and Peugeot and Fiat. So rebadging cars is under consideration. So basically what we're going to probably see is rebadged Fiats, because we know that works really well, and rebadged Alphas. And God, some Peugeots. Maybe they'll be your Chrysler and Dodge products, because that's literally what it looks like, because they're not going to be doing anything to support those two brands. So they're going to, under the new strategy, lower volume automakers were restricted to certain regions or even become national brands. Hello, Dodge and Chrysler. That used to be a case for Lancia, which for many years sold cars in its home market of Italy. Whether Stellantis has similar plans in mind for future is unclear, but if reports hold water, it wouldn't be surprised brands like Abarth or DS Automobiles, which I saw one in Sicily, nice automobile, reduce their footprint. I think, honestly, I think that Dodge is going to be one of those. And Dodge and Chrysler, I think they're just going to be North American brands. They're going to get rid of trying to sell them anywhere else in the world. They're just going to be here. So Maserati, I guess, is for sale. There's a lot of rumors for being for sale, and I have a feeling that it's for sale. So it would be nice if Ferrari ended up buying them, because maybe they'll fix their quality. Stellantis is investing in Dodge. I love this. So they pledged to spend $130 million, and I wish G Canada was here because he knows about their pledges. They don't follow through. The Jefferson assembly plant, the next generation Durango, which is it's not going to be a Dodge. I will guarantee the next generation Durango will be a Ram, guaranteed. Well, I don't know why you would keep it a Dodge. They're going to increase their investment at Jeep, which I don't understand. You have to make two products, and you're okay. Ram, because, Peugeot and Fiat will publicly announce. As a refresher, Ferrari is not among the 14 brands under the corporate umbrella because it's owned separately by the person that's the chairman of the board. So basically, if you're thinking that there's going to be a new Hellcat or a V8 in that Dodge Charger, it's not coming. It's not coming. They're not spending any money on it. It's not coming. There's going to be and it looks like there's going to be no new car specifically made for Chrysler. You'll probably get a rebadged Alfa Romeo. Maybe they'll go upscale. Maybe they'll give you a Peugeot, which is actually a better car. But I don't see them doing anything to actually improve anything else except the two things that make them money: Ram and Jeep, and the two national brands, Peugeot and Fiat. So this whole thing for Chrysler has been a complete loss. This is not good, and they're not doing anything to engage former Chrysler fans, like people like myself. They're doing nothing to engage me. I mean, they've basically we should probably go take a show and go through the Direct Connection catalog. I mean, it would take us a whole 15 minutes to do it because that's how small it is. Front to back, it's 15. I think it's like 30 pages, maybe 20. The Ford Performance catalog is like 200 pages long.
Wow.
It is absolutely psychotic how much bigger the Ford one is. The Mopart's Direct Connection, it almost doesn't exist. There's almost nothing in there. And I don't think they ever made the Stage 3 kits for the Hellcats. They were supposed to like 5 years ago, and they still haven't made them. They still haven't done anything. So that's where we are with Stellantis at this point. And that's just I thought that was just an interesting news thing that there's no money coming back for Dodge and I have to move a cat, for Dodge or Chrysler. So Chrysler getting a new car that's going to be its own is looking very, very bad at this point. And
so let me ask you this.
Yes.
Oh, finish. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you finish. Yes,
okay.
Yes.
That's another point, is that, let's say hypothetically the cars I looked at today were to 35,000 in a dream world.
Right.
But still, now we just put more icing on the bad cake that there is no more development. There's no money thrown in it. What is going to be the longevity of who's going to stand by the product? Like, so that right there. So even if it was 30 grand and I'm thinking, oh, I can finally get, no, I'll just go find that Mustang. I hate to say it, or whatever, but it's like, hey, they're bringing back the Camaro supposedly. At least you got GM, even with all their craziness, it is still somewhat stable. But think about it. You buy this car and the company that makes it literally just said, nah, we're not doing anything else with it. So we're not even standing behind the product in reality.
No, and that's the problem I kind of had with them, is that they really don't. If you own like an 8-year-old or 10-year-old Stellantis product, you may have a hard time finding things. I mean, that it's the first generation Challenger, like the new one. It's very hard to find stuff for that car now. And honestly, it really isn't that different than the second new one, because they only made one refresh in like 20 years.
Yes.
But honestly, it is almost impossible to find stuff for that car. And that was one of their most popular cars. And the same thing with the Charger, the 4-door Charger, one of the most popular cars that it was FCA had, honestly. And even when they became Stellantis, one of the most popular cars they had. And yet they are doing nothing for the older ones to keep them, keep those people in the flock, as I like to think, because, good auto manufacturers keep the people that like the older cars in the flock because it's something that is a smart idea. BMW did a very good job of this for a long time. They're not doing a good job of it now. They're doing a terrible job of it, and it shows in their sales. But BMW did a very good job of that, where they kind of always kept the people that like the classics interested in the new ones because it had some of the same, as to say, DNA. Same thing with Mercedes. Mercedes had that same DNA. Stellantis has none of that DNA is in their car. And Dodge and Chrysler, there's literally nothing that makes me go, wow, this is great. It really not. So at this point, and I can't wait for Mo Party in September to see what they're going to bring. Allegedly, they have ride-alongs. I'm kind of curious of how hard they're going to push and what they're going to do, if they're going to run the car down the quarter mile or just do ride-alongs, because that's just going to be kind of fascinating. Because there's quarter mile track there. You could take it out, show us, but I don't know. So this is going to be very fascinating, because that's a show that has over 2,000 cars. There's tens of thousands of people come to that show, and it's a good place to market, and we'll see. Chrysler's at Carlisle this year. It's the 60th anniversary of the Charger. I'm already starting to see stuff for that, contemplating it. I'm trying to see if maybe I could swing it. I mean, it's expensive drive now, but it's 60 years of Charger. But I haven't seen Stellantis do anything. And like Chrysler's at Carlisle is a huge show, especially for traditional stuff. It is a big, big thing. It's a big car show, and it's just really weird at this point. So we're kind of in that weird thing where it's strange, really, really strange stuff, and I don't know. So so I found this one article. This is on on older cars, but it was just weird what they picked. It was, I mean, honestly, strange. It's called the 5 vintage cars that would make awesome hot rods. And it's, of course, from Slash Gear, so this makes it weird. I love doing the Slash Gear ones because you sit there and shake your head. So it came out on 4/26, my favorite day. So the hot rodding world is filled with common terms that gearheads throw around a lot. These terms are used throughout the hobby and describe many different customized techniques. parts that people use when modifying vintage cars. What about the concept of a hot rod itself? And then you talk about the 32 Ford Coupe, and it started in the, is it a 1940s car? Is it anything up to 1970s, the modern NHRA? So the first car they pick here is a Chevy Corvair. And I'm thinking to myself, why? I mean,
that's awful. That's just terrible.
I mean, this one is just not good. But the Corvair is actually a very good car, and it was made to compete against the Beetle. But as far as hot rodding it, the problem is that you really can't. They say you can do a V8 swap. It's not easy to do a V8 swap. It's an air cooled car. I don't know how you would do a V8 swap on this thing, and because you're talking just a little too much work to actually make this thing work. The V6 is actually not a bad engine, especially turbocharged. It's a great engine in this car.
Actually, the Boxer engine.
Flat six, I meant. So, I mean, and then this one. When's the last time you've seen a Nash Metropolitan?
Who would run and ruin that? I'm not being disrespectful. It's like that car. I mean, they're so rare, and you wouldn't want to hot rod it. Because I actually, muscle cars fairly well. I used to be very involved with we'll call it the traditional hot rod community. You literally, from what I learned back in the day, it's kind of a jalopy that you take, like a 30s car. That's what they all did. And put in the flathead V8, and as time went on, you put newer motors in. But you were literally taking a very antiquated, usually Ford product, and hot rodding it out and almost making it a Frankenstein in some ways. You would not take a car like that. Now, yes, you could put a bigger motor, make it faster. So maybe the terminology is different, but that's not what I see as a hot rod. And I guarantee the community still to this day would say that's a no-go.
Yeah, especially in that car. Now, this one I have seen done. I've seen a lot of these done. I've seen the Dodge ones done. The only thing with these trucks is that they're as dangerous as it gets. I mean, this is you do not want to be in a front end accident. You will lose your legs. Because your legs are sitting here, the engine is sitting here in the middle. And so there's really no structural rigidity here. And like the doors do fly open on these things. Because here's the door hinge. But I mean, I have seen these hot rodded. This is how the wheel stander, the Mavericks wheel stander, it was a Dodge version of this. Okay, I can kind of see that. You put the engine in the bed, yeah, it's kind of a cool car. If you put the engine in here, a bigger engine, it gets hot in there. That's really not out there, and I could see that. I guess that the A100 pickup. There's somebody that goes to the show. I'm going to be doing a video on Mopars at Merritt's where they actually do one of those. They have one of those, and it has like a 440 in it. This one I don't even understand. I'm beside myself on this one. The Toyota Crown Classic. I mean, I'm like,
no one bought those.
They're hard to find. I'm really confused about. So this list is first again really odd. So here's one that's actually kind of normal. The Tempest, because that became the GT. The Tempest was a GTO. So yes, you can do that with this. People have done this before. This is the previous one. This is 61 to 63. I think this had a rear transaxle in it. I believe this is what they had.
Yes.
It had a torque tube.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. You can get the Buick V8 in there in a 362. I mean, you can do that, but the other thing is, where do you find one of these? I've seen a couple of them. I saw a convertible just like this, but I mean, honestly, this isn't a car you're going to run out and go find. Like, you're not going to go on Facebook Marketplace and go find the 62 Tempest. It's not in hot rods. See, to me, you're right though about hot rods. It should be something that's really common. Something that really is kind of
throw it out there. That's the main thing, because if you do find a 62 Tempest, even if let's say it's a little bit beat up and needs a lot of work, you're not going to want to, in my opinion, necessarily, and some folks are different, alter it radically, you're going to want to kind of keep it that Tempest. But if you found a 60 Falcon, okay, we'll use that.
Oh, now, the parts everywhere for that car.
Well, the parts everywhere, and look, it's probably a little bit beat up and stuff.
Yeah.
Go have some. In fact, I knew someone that had a Valiant, not safe to drag race on in DeSoto, but I did ride along. It might not have been a Valiant. It was some type of Plymouth product, but it was not sturdy. But it was fun. That was like an 08. I went out and did that to find out what exactly that was. But you're right. It's a common style car. And of course, then you have to think of even like the Corvair, the engineering alone. Now you're putting a V8 in the back, which it was, I mean, they engineered it a certain way for that type of layout. I don't know. Just that article seems really kind of off.
I mean, it's almost like they just kind of like the only one was the pickup, the old school pickup, the van pickups, which has been done. I mean, you could do it a lot of ways. You could put it in the engine. You could actually put the engine back of you in the bed, which is fine. You could try to put it where it was living. It's hotter than hell in there because I mean, you have the doghouse. You literally have the doghouse sitting next to you. And it's not a comfortable feeling. You hope the engine never blows because not a good thing. But the thing is, those things are incredibly unsafe, and it's just there's so many better options for hot rods. Like literally, I mean, honestly, you could take anything from the 80s, like a Fairmont, like the late 70s, early 80s. A Ford Fairmont. It had you could put it was a 302 in there already. You could make that a hot rod. I mean, and it's a Fox body. You can go find Fox body parts. I mean, if you wanted something
even though it's not the traditional, it's the same concept of what you're doing. You're taking a dilapidated car that nobody cares about anymore, and you're gonna make it unsafe at any speed. No pun intended with the book,
which is perfect. But I mean that would make more sense than what they were, because I mean honestly, a Ford Fairmont would be, and I've seen it done. You can do all the Mustang goodies on it, and now you have a really fast car, and that's a hot rod, and you could actually make it a sleeper, and nobody would ever notice it. I mean, if you could find one of the Muratas or one of the Cordobas from the early 80s from Chrysler, I mean, it was a J body, so it's still based on the F body. So you still had that. You can throw a 360 in there, a stroker 410, and you do a little weight reduction on the car, and you got a hot rod, and it's something different, and it's not anything anybody wants. See, that's the other thing. Mainly, a hot rod cars that no one really wants.
Oh, it's for your own personal fast enjoyment.
I mean, you actually made the car better because now it has some sort of value because you actually did something to it. And that's why, like the Model Ts, that's why they always did the T buckets, because they were millions of them laying around, and they weren't useful for anything else, because by the time people started hot rodding them, the cars had already evolved to the point where that thing was not even able to keep up with them on the highway.
And think about even like the Model A's or the 32, and I remember it was like they were still built like you were sitting kind of in a phone booth. That's where they chop the roofs, and that's where we get that quintessential style. Okay, I'll also send you a picture for next week. I actually owned 20 plus years ago a Model A. It was a chopped roof 2-door sedan, so there's actually plenty of legroom in it. That's what a lot of people would do. Is although roadsters were the popular, they were small. And by the 50s, people were a little, I guess, bigger and wanted more comfort. So a lot of times, and I learned this from the community, they would get a sedan 2-door, chop the roof. Now there's no stability. And I had bought one, and it was actually geared up with the frame, ready to go for a 390. Now that would have been sick and dangerous. Obviously, I sold it. I never built it for various reasons. But yes, there was a game plan at one time for me. And I had you're gonna love this, a Voyager bench seat was the and it fit perfectly, and it was mounted.
And that's the other thing about hot rods, is that you start throwing different types of interiors in the car to customize it some more.
Hence the Indian blankets, right? Exactly.
Oh, here we go. Lee's Performance. Hey, how you doing? 63 Tempest were popular for super stock, and making one into a making into gasser. My buddy has one. Yeah,
gasser.
Yeah, that because Pontiac was huge into drag racing at that point, racing in general, because they were the racing division. And yeah, I remember them being done for that because they were small and light, and you can fit the V8s in there. A gasser one, that'd be kind of crazy. I think that'd be really cool. One of those as a gasser. I like that. I like that a lot. But my friend is basically making. He made a what would be the more modern equivalent of a gasser, the altered wheelbase. He's doing a 68, and I'll probably, when I go up to Mo Party, I'll probably do a whole thing on this. It's a 68 Dart that he actually did an altered wheelbase. He actually brought the front wheels forward and the back wheels forward. He changed the wheel openings on it. He's a professional welder. He can weld. So he changed everything around this car. It has this one to 383 and two fuel injections on it, 2 fuel injection units on it on a stack. So it's stacked, and it has a newspaper. You remember the newspaper boxes you had on it has a newspaper box air grabber on it. Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a bare bones car. He basically just has little toggle switches for headlights, taillights, no turn signals, use arm signals, and pretty much just basic controls in the car, and it's actually pretty neat. So he got it running this past weekend, and it sounds healthy. So this is like that old school kind of bare bones, just purpose built car,
like a rat rod, as they would say in some ways. A rat rod, kind of, sort of.
It's a little nicer than a rat rod.
Yeah. But it's cool. He brought up the paper intake. That's cool.
Yeah, but it has a tunnel ram. It's set up on tunnel ram, so it's crazy. But that is something. Those cars though, those darts, nobody really, a regular one, nobody wants them. So yeah, that's a car you could do hot rod on.
That's a hot rod, right? Exactly.
And any one of those darts up to 1976, you could do that. Parts are available everywhere. So all right, well, let's get into this whole modern kind of thing, because and I looked through this article, and the American, and it really does scream how the American brands really weren't awesome. Because I was trying to think on the top of my head, what American cars from the 90s, outside of a Mustang or Camaro or Firebird, outside of the pony cars,
right?
What American cars really sit there and go, yeah, I want to build one of those now. I'd like to have one of those, and it's really kind of strange, because what does Dodge have? I mean, outside of the Viper, what did Dodge have? The 3000 G, not the 3000 GP, the Stealth RT, which was the 3000 GT. It's just a Mitsubishi with a badge on it. So, and it's an all-wheel drive, so it's not even like a muscle car. So this is the greatest cars of the 90s, which the 90s is actually the best made cars in ever. We've actually gone backwards since the 90s. So here we go. So they go through it in 1997. So we're going to start already. 97 to 2001 Acura Integra Type R. Mm-hmm. Great car. It's a Honda. You can get parts for it anywhere you want. Fun car, not an American car. NSX. Mm-hmm. This is already a supercar. So I don't know why this is on here. These were collectible when they came out. So, and once again though, you can go to any Honda dealership and get parts for this.
Yep.
Think of that for a second. You can go to Honda dealerships and get parts for your NSX. It's actually not too crazy. All right, so here we go. The Cyclone. Let's talk about this now. The 91 to 93 Cyclone. They only made them for 3 years. They're hard to find. I mean, I haven't seen one in a while. It's been about 2 years since I've seen one. They're fast. And this is the pickup one. The other one was the the SUV. What was it called? It was the Cyclone
Jimmy?
and what? No,
was it the Jimmy or the Blazer?
No, it was a special name. The
Typhoon.
The Typhoon. So it had a turbocharged 4.3 liter, which was an incredible engine, V6, that was incredibly fast. But where can you actually get one of these? You could buy one from an aftermarket company. Somebody's making these. Hold on. Let's see what we got going on here. So, wow, a new supercharged V8 GM Cyclone making 757 on a dyno.
Oh God!
Look at this. Hey, wow. Special video. 56. Only 50 of them are going to be made. And it's 80 grand plus a donor vehicle.
Oh.
So you can kind of have one, but wow. But the thing is, I haven't seen these at Mecum. I haven't seen them being sold. I mean, I don't know where you find one of these. They're cool.
I don't think they sold well back then.
No. General Motors was a little pissed off because it was faster than the Corvette, which they're
kind of ahead of their time. When you think about it, that's what I think probably happened is great idea, maybe 10 years too early.
But I can see this thing being collectible. It has the right. I mean, granted, it's only a V6, but it has a lot of power. It's rear-wheel drive. It's a 2-door. I mean, you can. It has parts available for it.
Looks
but
good.
And I mean, it does look good. I'm not even a General Motors fan, and I think this looks good. It's a tough looking truck. You know, you could always modernize and put better wheels on it because I mean, this is early '90s technology wheels on this car.
Right.
So this actually has potential. This is actually something that I can say yes. It's a Corvette. I mean,
obvious.
And it's a ZR1. They're already expensive. God. Okay. The Mazda Miata. But I mean, honestly, a Mazda Miata? I mean, everybody's already been like collecting these. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, so I'm here we go. Now, Nissan, we did a story last week. Nissan's building replacement parts for this car. So this, I mean, it's not an American car, but as far as something collectible, there's support. There is always been support. Now there's official support from Nissan going to be coming for this car. MR2, reliable, neat. Actually, you don't find many of these. And the early ones were really tiny. And then, of course, Supra, which are already big money. I mean, this is like the ultimate Supra. This is the car everyone wants.
Right.
I mean, this is the turbocharged 2JZ, which was just an absolute animal. But I mean, you know, it's not really. Subarus have their own following. These are a good car. The Impreza 22B, but 22B. A Porsche 911. Come on, it's a Porsche.
That's a given.
I mean, come on. Oh yeah, let's go get a Bugatti.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, all right. So, Michael, you've been around BMW stuff. Have you ever seen one of these?
Never in person, but that's a Z1 if I'm correct, right?
Correct. I have. I've seen two of these. I have seen two of these. It is weird, but they're hard to find. I mean, literally, they're almost impossible to find.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like the doors, the parts for this car are hard to get. Like the door stuff is hard. All this is unique. It uses I believe it uses E30 stuff. So it has like an M20 drivetrain. It has my style rear suspension, rear and front suspension. So that's easy, but the rest of it is kind of, look at this. Oh yeah, an F50. Of course.
Yeah,
let me go get my piggy bank and go get a Ferrari. Also hard to find. Escort RS Cosworth.
Yeah.
You have to import it. They weren't even built here. RX-7 already collectible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the roller skate years. Are you serious? Another Ferrari?
Yeah.
Road and Track. What are you doing here? What are you talking about? It's a Ferrari. It already has value. Oh yeah. All right. So now the 850. I know it's not. You notice there's not a lot of American cars on here.
No. Nope.
And that's kind of the thing.
That's beautiful.
But all right, so the 850, there are two types of people that own this car. There are people that are very, very wealthy, or people that are BMW mechanics. There's no in between, because these cars are an absolute nightmare. This car has actually, hold on, vintage, hold on. Oh yeah, literally, yeah. What about the Pontiac Bonneville Supercharged? Nope, it's not on this list, which is weird. But it's also front wheel drive. Hurts it. I know. Granted, the Acuras are front wheel drive, understood, but yes, never saw. Yeah, Z1's are hard to find. So this car has basically two M20s tied together. Has two computers running to 12 cylinders. I mean, it's a great car when it runs, but it has lots and lots of problems. Good transmission though. It has a nice manual in there. I think it has a gear track. And then I've seen one of these.
Yeah, I've seen one. 300 they built or whatever.
Or Lamborghini. Dodge Viper. The Viper, I don't really know how much this market really is there, because the car is not, as far as being something, how can I say this, actually kind of usable, it isn't, because it's a tiny two-seater that's really obnoxiously loud and it rides like garbage. I mean, it's cool looking, but you'd be only kidding, and it was made for a very long time. So I don't know. Another Ferrari, a McLaren F1. I've seen one in my life. I've seen one. Yeah. So Road and Track is, they are insane at this point.
Yeah, I was expecting more. I mean, I thought I might see a Z3 or Z4 on there. I thought maybe
no.
An SCR Sentra, because more of, like, I don't know, cars that actually were everywhere and that now people miss them, and like a 57 Chevy was, that.
Yeah, clearly biased reporting. Absolutely. I don't know what's going on here, but I mean, hi, G Canada. Yeah, it's 429 day. It's 429. There you go. I was looking hard for stuff for 90s things, because everybody's talking about, like, the 60s and 70s stuff, blah, blah, blah. Now, here is the problem we have with collectible cars. First of all, a car is not designed to be a collectible car. So, like, those Hellcats and all that stuff, they're not collectible cars. There's nothing collectible about them. Just because they say they're only going to make so many of them doesn't make it a collectible car. It just means they didn't make a lot of them. There are a lot of cars they didn't make a lot of that are just not collectible. Like the small Jaguar estate, the station wagon of the X-Type, the X-Type Jaguar. They didn't make a lot of them. It's not a collectible car, though. Nobody wants it. No. Right. So, people pose this question to me a lot of times in comments, and I'm really trying to think, because the late 70s is really bad. I mean, especially for American cars, it's horrible. And there aren't a lot of those cars around because they were built so bad that there's no way to to actually find stuff for them, or find one that's in good shape enough to actually use. So in the 80s, it was the same thing. I mean, there were some really shining stars, and then there was a lot of and yes, the funny thing is that Vintage 76 was asking about the Ford SHO, because they did build that in the 90s, not on that list, which is weird. That actually is a pretty impressive car. It's fast, but not there. I don't know where that list was going. But when you look at the 80s, like the Thunderbirds from that era, they came with V8s in them, but you don't see a lot of those cars, and nobody really went out of their way to hot rod those cars. I mean, they really didn't. I honestly, I've seen a few, but I mean, for as many as they made, we're in Florida. This is where stuff can live, and I don't see them. Same thing with the 90s Thunderbirds, the 89 to 97. They had V8s in them, and you could put a bigger V8 in them. I don't see anything.
I
don't see anything in them, and they're rear-wheel drive. Let's see. 20-cent motors. A collectible car has to have some overall quality to it, like unusual features or high longevity. Yeah, or it has to be like a trailblazer or something that is very much into the, as I say, zeitgeist of the culture. That's like, like original first, like second and third generation Chargers. And I'll just use that example because like what's my favorite thing. But that Charger was really in the zeitgeist of American muscle culture because they used that car for racing. It was on NASCAR. That was a NASCAR racing car. The same thing could be said like for the Ford, like the Ford Talladegas or the Torinos, because it just was in that zeitgeist. But honestly, a lot of cars that like Monte Carlos from 71, was it 71, 72? First 2 years?
70 to 72. That was the
70,
first
72. Nobody wants, I like them. Chevy guys don't even want that car. Literally, I was talking to a Chevy guy. He's like, no, I wouldn't buy it. I'm like, it's just a nicer Chevelle. Nope, don't want it. Literally, it's like, I'm throwing my hands up on that. That one I don't get, and it's a good car.
Well, I think a lot has to do, and he is correct on that, about the quality aspect. But I think really, and again, pop culture makes a huge dent because, no pun intended, because like, honestly, the Chop Merc, we'll use that. Okay, it's a cool looking car, this and that. It's a two-door sedan with a post, blah, 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 Chop Merc. James Dean drove it in Rebel Without a Cause, okay? He then died. It then becomes part of this part. For example, my dad owned, it was a very used car at the time in the early 60s, but he owned a 51 Ford shoebox. And I remember asking him one time, Dad, why didn't you hold on to your shoebox? You know what he said? Mike, it's an old car. It didn't become popular until a certain element took it that way. I mean, the 57 Chevy.
Just say it, the baby boomers.
Well, yeah, because they remind you, why did I buy the Z3 in some ways? I mean, for me, I think it's a cool car stuff. I couldn't afford $40,000 back when I was 20. Nope. But boy, GoldenEye or this, or it's a Roadster. I was able to pick it up years later. Or even whether, like I said, I still would love a 540 stick shift, okay, from like 95, 96. Obviously, but see, you have to have it in the zeitgeist, in your own mental head. Correct. And I think that added a lot to it. Like you said, the Mustang, everyone had a Mustang in the 60s. The boomers wanted their childhood back. I always go back to Lincolns. Technically, talk about quality in cars, Thunderbirds should be beyond expensive and collectible, but no one remembers them really driving. Like Monte Carlos, they were good cars, but not everybody had one, So,
I mean, the thing is, the Thunderbird sold well, and the Monte Carlo sold well. They actually sold well, but
absolutely.
The thing is about the 60s Thunderbirds, it's just it's just too much of a, I don't know, like
I'm only using an example of the quality he brought.
I know it's a high quality car, but it's just kind of it's not exciting. I mean,
it's not.
It's not.
No, you're right. No, it's not. It's a great car, but like I said, nobody wanted. My dad bought that shoebox in like 61. No one wanted that thing. He bought it for like $50 at the Army base. Okay. But somehow magically years later, now, it's a shoebox. I'm going to chop it. Well, it's got to go along with something to make it.
This is that, Rooney, you're really nailing it on the head, because I'm seeing this in Chrysler now. 37 to 51 Fords only got popular when more desirable body styles became out of reach price-wise. Absolutely. Because the mid-50s Fords they still are pretty expensive. Mid-50s and up got very expensive. I mean, honestly, for the desirable models and the Model Ts and all, they all, they don't have any value. But, because they're not really good. I mean, they're good as T-buckets because they're not really great roadworthy cars. You can do, 50 miles an hour on one? And the thing is, now I'm seeing that same kind of thing in Chrysler. where all the big name cars like the 60s B bodies, like your Coronets, your Chargers, and then the E bodies, the Challengers and the Barracudas, they're all sky high. So now A bodies, which is the small cars, the darts, or people are trying to find Aspens and Velares, if you find one that's not rotted away, or you're trying to go backwards and you're trying to get the late 50s Furies or early 60s cars from them. And I've noticed that you have that creep, but the problem with a lot of times when you do that for like Ford, it's not as bad because there's an aftermarket. Even for those, there is stuff. But when you start talking about like a Chrysler product, once you get out of the big circle, it gets hard. It gets real hard to do anything for those cars. My buddy, I was just working on it today, and I couldn't finish it, and I'll have a short on why I couldn't finish it. I was trying just to rebuild carburetors. And he bought a 61 Chrysler 300G. I mean, it's a 300-letter car. And this car will bankrupt you. I mean, this car is beautiful. It's all original, has low miles on it, but it will bankrupt you if you have to really fix it. And that is kind of where we are with the collectible stuff, because it's, now people are starting to go get those cars because they had value, but they were never stuff people seeked.
Correct.
And he's now finding out, because he has a CUDA, a real CUDA, and he has a Charger that somebody RT'd, but now he bought this car and he's going, this car is like killing me on just on stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's an early 60s Chrysler. It's a letter car. It's going to kill you. I mean, you're gonna be shelling out cash on this car. And it really is that point. And this is why I was trying to look forward, not going backwards, trying to go forward, trying to figure out when anything new collectible is going to be something. Like they were in this chat, they were talking about the supercharged Super Coupe, the turbo, the Thunderbird Super Coupe with the 3.8 supercharged engine. It was an animal. That car was an absolute animal. I haven't seen one in a year. And I mean, they sold a lot of them. That car, I mean, the drivetrain in that car is phenomenal because it has the what's that 3.8? The Cologne. I think that's the Cologne 3.8 in that car. Is that the Cologne engine? The
Cologne's a 4-liter. That's
the
what
4-liter,
I
which
think,
is what's the
a good engine
called?
too.
I forgot what the 3.8's called.
The Taurus Special.
No, because that actually was a great engine too. The Cologne engine was in the Ranger. But
yeah, and like the first Mustangs when they revamped them in 2005.
Mm-hmm. But so I mean, we're at that point but you don't see anybody running out and collecting those. I mean, they're old enough now; they're 30 years old, 30 years plus. Mm-hmm. And I mean, think about that. That last Thunderbird, the last continuous run of the Thunderbirds ended in 1997, which is going to be 30 years ago next year.
Yeah. God.
Let's see. Oh, Mark. All right. So the 1990s Mark 8s are dirt cheap. All right. So 20 Cent Motors. I don't know if you know much about them. I actually sold those, and I knew a lot about them. The problem with that car is there's so much technology in that car. I don't know if you keep it working. It has air suspension in it that actually lowers the car at speed. So there's a speed sensor part of that's built into the computer. It has a 32 valve 4.6 in it, which the 4.6 is not a very durable engine, as it turns out. And it's 32 valves, so it's very complicated. There's a lot of pieces to it that are just hard. It has a fluorescent taillight. The center taillight is fluorescent on that
neon.
Car.
It's neon. A neon.
No, it is not. It's fluorescent.
Oh, it's fluorescent. Okay.
It's fluorescent, and it heated up faster than a regular light bulb. That's why they put it in there. So it's not a regular. It's not a regular light bulb. It's a fluorescent bulb, and God knows if you could actually buy one. I mean, that's why they're dirt cheap. It is a luxury car that is 30 years old that I don't know what you can buy. I don't know how you can fix it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's Ford in that car, but the suspension definitely isn't. The suspension is unique to Lincoln, and at that point, how do you make that work? And can you convert it just to coilovers without the computer freaking out because it has speed sensors?
That car probably not. Like my dad's Continental, it was converted to coils, but it didn't have that situation.
Correct.
So it was done. But there's a great example there too. That's when it was discontinued. The two-door market was dropping. They were nice cars and stuff, but collectible. No, I mean I saw a mint one actually. Funny you bring it up. I couldn't believe it. This is like triple black, and it looked showroom, which is very rare. And okay, I thought it was sharp, but in reality, no, they're not something where they're being sought after.
No. And
like the Cougar or the Thunderbird, same exact platform,
same platform. There's no, and they all share a platform with the Mustang, and that's the part that I mean, engine parts aren't hard for these cars. Because that 32 valve actually, if I'm correct, it's kind of similar to what they used in the Cobra.
Yeah,
the first one,
very similar, and I think it had 200, if I'm correct, 280 horsepower because my dad's Continental had. Very smooth, very very high, especially for Ford going that extra mile. Now the Continentals, they're dirt cheap because they were front wheel drive, and they were really stupid on that. But it was a great car, very tech oriented for the 90s. Again, why do American cars drop the ball? You go after BMW and Mercedes, and you still don't go all the way. It's just
they always come up just that mile short. That few inches short. They were close and just did it. Because even Cadillac of all the divisions in the last since they wanted to compete with European cars, Cadillac did the best job in the last 20 years by far. It's not even a contest. They actually made a car that that actually made BMW go, yeah, maybe we need to really make sure we keep up with this. But honestly, if you really outside of that, Lincoln never did it. Lincoln never ever did it, and Chrysler never did it either. Chrysler couldn't. Hi, Wuzzle, how you doing? I have a cat. So so she's very hi. How are you? What? Hi.
Oh. Wuzzles.
The puzzle's nickname is Wuzzle.
Oh, okay.
Because I have a Wuzzle. So but if you look at it that way, and you know what, those Cadillacs actually may. And here's the problem though with modern cars, and this is where my jury is still out. How everything holds up, how the electronics hold up, because that's a big problem now. Electronics and computers are a scary problem. And we didn't have that problem in the 60s and 70s cars because they didn't have them. So, but those Cadillacs, honestly, they're very, very fast. They ride real nice. They even made a station wagon version of a V.
The V. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
DTS.
Damn. I mean, that's pretty, that's pretty stout, but I don't know. And in the 90s, it really is. And these are now becoming 30-year-old cars, and it's hard to find anything American that anybody would want.
And I hate to say it too.
What?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So the Olds Aurora was designed to have the same body structural stiffness as a Mercedes. What a weird looking car.
And that sadly never took off. Again, they dropped it. They were an inch too short on so many things.
That car had two things going against it. First of all, the body shape was just odd. I mean, it was just an odd looking car. And every last one of them, if you looked at the trunk was a little askew. Every last one of them, it was just not. There was something just off on the thing, and it was front wheel drive, and it just hurt. It just hurt that car. And I do remember that they had the weird commercial with the Vreep. I mean, they had the weirdest commercial for that car, for the Olds Aurora. And what was the smaller car they had? They had two cars that they launched. And
the Aurora was 95, and when it got restyled in 99, the Alero came out along with it.
So both of those
compact.
Both of those cars were just really weird looking.
Yeah.
I mean, the insides were actually very nice. It's just, once again, though, it just
yes, it's typical, sadly, American. And that's what I was going to say, is that the problem is a lot of these cars we're talking about, they just didn't hold up in general. I mean,
no.
even if somebody, wants today like a Lincoln Town Car, we'll just use that as an example, okay, or the Mark 8, they didn't hold up. Or yet a 98 BMW, if maintained by good people, like, you, myself, other people out there that get it, and they could be trashed too, obviously, they're still going to hold up better. It's just a different level of quality.
So here's something interesting. I never thought about anybody wanting one of these. Rooney wants a well-maintained Chevy Celebrity Eurosport Edition. I've seen those, but my God, good luck finding one. Damn. I mean, a Chevy Celebrity Eurosport. Wow. I don't know. So, yeah. So, and this is the thing. This is where I see comments on video, especially when I talk about older stuff and parts and all. And it's like, well, then give me an alternative. And I'm trying to find an American alternative. And so far, we're really not finding any, because I don't think it really, outside of a Mustang or a General Motors F body, because there's nothing from Chrysler except for the Viper from 1984 to 2000. There's nothing. They literally had a bunch of front wheel drive cars nobody wanted then, and I don't know, nobody wants them now.
You don't want a nice triple black LHS in your driveway?
No. No. I don't care. It has Shelby's DNA in it. I don't care. I really don't. I mean, no. There's something not cool about that car. I mean, it's fast. You can make them real fast, but no, just no. LHS. The Omni LHS.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the LHS. No, not that goes like hell some more. No, that's a GLHS. I'm talking about the 97 LHS sedan, the big like luxury cruiser, like the cab forward era. That's what I was joking about. The LHS.
Here we go.
Black New Yorker.
Lee's Performance, the first generation Dakotas, absolutely. First generation Dakotas. I don't know where. The thing is, they're hard to find, and it's so odd to think about. They're hard to find, but you're right though. A Dakota is a platform to add stuff to. It already had a roller 318 in it, or a roller 360. No, never 360. Roller 318. It had a roller 318 in it already. So honestly, you can take anything and put it in that engine bay, and you're good to go. And they're pretty good looking car, and they're pretty good looking trucks. Yeah. And there's plenty of aftermarket. Actually, there's plenty of aftermarket for suspension stuff on that thing. Now the Mercury Marauder was fat. It needed to lose about 500 pounds. But then it would be a pretty neat car. I mean, it was, just give it a little more of a cop attention. So that'd be pretty. But they didn't make a lot of those. So,
well, there's another one like a 90, and I say this specifically because of the console shift, the 96 Impala. That could be, if they're not.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing it out there.
That car had a 5-cylinder. It had an LS.
Yeah. Yes.
That was a fast car.
94 96. Yes.
LHS New York, and no.
Yeah, that's what I'm joking about. Is that car exactly?
No. The LH, no. The Last Hope, no. Those cars actually suffered from a lot of quality issues, and finding one now is pretty hard, almost impossible. They had top end issues. They had air conditioning issues, which is really bad on that car. They had transmission issues. They had giant windshields, which basically baked the interior. I mean, there's a lot of. Yeah,
you can see 90 literally every day. I now car counting. I always have, but you can see 90s Honda Civics and Accords any day of the week. You can at least see one of each.
Right.
One. I'm going real slow. When was the last time you saw a 98 Intrepid? Like I told you, I saw a LH car at night one time going to the Anscott for work, not for me. And it was a Concorde. And I mean, I almost talked to the owners like, how is this running? Because you don't see any, but yet I easily can find a 94 Civic any day or that era.
I'm really trying to think the last time I actually saw an LH, a Last Hope. I'm really trying to think. I mean, I even go to Mopar shows. Think of this. I went to Bowling Green for 2,000 cars at a Mopar show, and I didn't think I saw one of those. And they're over 30 years old. I mean, they are now a classic car. Not there. Not just
nobody cares because nobody cared. They died and that was it.
Yeah. So all right. So here's another list of 10 90s cars poised. Now they're ready for value surge.
Oh God!
Edition. And this is by Car Buzz. Okay, that's just an ad. So the first one, a Saab 9000 Aero. First of all, how do you buy parts for a Saab?
No.
Let's see. Oh wait, 20 Cent Motors. I gotta see this. His mom rented an LHS New Yorker in the 90s. She thought it was great. Then I wiggled one of the chrome plastic grill blades and then remarked how the Chrysler badge in a dash was mounted crooked.
So sad.
That's hilarious.
That's American cars.
Yes, Saabs have 0 NVH isolation. Yeah, if you want to feel the road, yeah, this is the car. Unfortunately, I don't know about to feel the car, but so honestly, I mean, they're fast, they're neat.
They're a niche car for some quirky people.
But the problem is that you can't buy anything for this car.
No.
I mean, this is literally, it's a great car, but I don't even know who makes parts for this stuff anymore because General Motors just basically stopped everything. They closed everything down. So that's insane. Yeah. All right, here is another one. A Land Rover Range Rover P38. Cool vehicle. But why? I mean, why? I mean, honestly, why?
What's that?
What?
Who wants to be fixing that all the time? I got a friend on Facebook. He's raving about his Range Rover, and I'm like, dude, it's always in the shop. I mean, and I'm not. That's not. I know it's cliche, but he's always fixing it.
I just, and this has the Range Rover 4.6 V8 in it. So this is not even a BMW engine. This is before BMW. So this is literally their homegrown V8, which is a horrible engine. Oh God. Some Land Rovers do have air suspension. Yes, they're for off-road, they're a great thing, but an old one is a problem. And I just can't see this being anything. Here we go. The most unloved, I think this is the most unloved Mustang generation ever.
Yeah.
By leaps and bounds. I don't think it was the first one that, the first modern one to have 5 lug. It had the 4.6 modular engine in it to start with. It brought back the Cobra, and
retro looking.
Nobody liked it, and it aged. I think the car aged poorly, because I'm looking at that car now, and is that a Mystic? It looks purple, like Mystic.
Could be one of those shifters, color shifting.
The Mystic, because they did it twice. They did Mystic twice. It's just this car just looks very.
I think they sold like hotcakes, but no, they have not aged well at all.
No, I think it's a weird C-pillar on the car. It just doesn't.
Very 90s. That very Ford 90s look.
Yeah. So I'm kind of this one. Yeah, it will have value. It's a Mustang. You can get parts for it. These had independent rears, right? Or no?
No,
that's right. They still didn't have independent rear. Yeah, that's the problem. It looks like a 91 Eclipse. I don't know what they were going for. They were trying to go for the 64, but modern. But believe it or not, I actually like
again, I'm retro thinking here. Now it looks just, I hate to say it, like a big bubbly Ford. That all the Fords look like this. I mean, even the Continental, we talked about that earlier. Even the Mark 8, they're all with that bubbly look. I actually think when they restyled the 99, it doesn't look as good as the original 94 to 98. That's just me. But you're right, they did not age. Oh, but they were very popular. I knew people that had them, and they had a dual cowl dash. That was kind of cool. But you look at it now, and you're like, that's but you look at it now and you think this looks like kind of a bigger economy car.
It does. It literally looks like it's a giant Escort.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So I just, and then here, it's just the redesign. I think this is the 99 redesign.
Yes.
Has a little bit bigger inlet and has this
squared off. Yeah.
It's much more squared, but it's less bad.
No.
But it really isn't. Yeah. So, but it's still going to become, I think that's still going to be something people are going to go after just because it's still a Mustang. The Toyota T100.
I just saw one yesterday. Funny.
Well, it's a Toyota pickup truck. So, yeah, I could see that, I guess. The only thing, it only has a V6 in it. Yeah. So, but there's so many American pickup trucks you can get instead. No, absolutely not. No. Absolutely no.
Oh, we know someone that had that. We know someone that had one.
You know what, though? It's the Grand Cherokee. The regular Cherokee is the one to have.
Yes.
The Grand Cherokee just is not. Granted, it had a 360 in it, and but I don't know. Let's see. He's always with deep thought. Do any of the big car auctions put up 90s or 80s cars? Yeah, actually they do. Mecum has them. I think I remember seeing a few, but can't remember which. Most are like, no, Mecum will throw up a lot of 80s and 90s cars. They actually get a big selection, especially if you look at the one in Kissimmee. Kissimmee's a giant auction, and they have like how many cars? Yeah, like 3,000, 4,000 cars. So there are 80s and 90s cars there. So there is a fair amount. I haven't really seen them really outside of like a Buick Grand National or, some sort of special Mustangs. I really haven't seen, or Corvettes. I haven't really seen them gaining any value. There's like no traction yet for those cars. But Mecum does. Just go on to Mecum.com. You could set up a free account and then you could search. And you can actually put years. You can actually put it. And I really don't think it's a. Actually, let's do this right now. Oops. Why did I just focus on me? You're there too. Hold on. I'm gonna go into my Mecum account because we're gonna look up.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna throw a dice on something here because this list is obviously already oddball with throwing out the G-Man. Jeep Grand Cherokee, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna say that on the list, I could be wrong here. It would not surprise me if they put on the new Beetle as one of those cars of what's it called? Hedging collectability. What did it say? Oh, yes. Gearing up. On the Verge. Yes.
You know what? You might be right. Because I did look through this first. I think it is on there. I drove one of those, and that was a weird car. I mean, everything about the car was just too weird for me. In fact, I drove the turbo version, and it has a spoiler that would slam down every time you came to a stop. Scared the hell out of me first time I came to a stop. Okay. 1980 to 2000. So let's see. Let's
while you're looking that up.
Let's filter this. So is this it? Yeah. Okay. So, and actually, let's look at just normal cars. Let's look at Ford, Chevrolet, Pontiac, and see Jeep. We'll do Jeep. We'll do Dodge, and we'll do Buick, and we'll do Lincoln, and then okay. So here we go. Let's go take a look here. So this is what is at Mecum for this is 1980, and they do have them. And this is Kissimmee, and there is how many cars? It doesn't say. 24 per page. Let's just do 100 per page. So there's about 400 cars from the 80s to the 90s, Horatius. So, and let's see, a Pontiac Grand Am Coupe GT, $3,800 plus VIG, pickup truck, Mustang GT convertible. Look how cheap this is, $3,300 plus the VIG, 5-liter. That's right, before the new engine. 1990 Mustang 5-liter, 95 1500 pickup truck, Jeep Comanche, which they did not talk about in that list. Lincoln Town Car, $4,500. Diplomat, $4,400. So there is a fair amount of cars that are new 80s and 90s that are running through there. It's just they're not garnishing a lot of money. Well, Broncos are now because the new Bronco came out, but like this Fiero, $4,400. Yeah, I mean, honestly, they're not garnishing a lot of cash. Even this ZR1 was only $17,000. Mustang GT 94 with the 5-liter. That's right. They had 1 year with the 5-liter, $5,500. Cheap. 96 Saleen, $9,900.
Wow.
They're cheap. I know if it was a Shelby, it'd be worth a lot more than that. But look, Grand Sport. I remember seeing these. This actually has value, $44,000. It's a rare car. So 99 Mustang GT convertible, $8,800.
Wow. And these are nice shaped cars.
These are very nice shaped cars.
Right.
So, and then all the Corvettes. But I mean, it really isn't. Wow, 89 Lincoln Town Car, $18,000. Wait a minute. I'm curious now.
Yeah, that's more than a vet. That's strange.
Well, no. Let's see how low to mile. It's 44,000 miles on this car. It's like brand new. It is literally brand new.
Yeah.
Titanium edition.
Ooh.
Wow, it has a Marty report. Somebody actually did a Marty report on a Lincoln Town Car.
Oh,
Jesus Christ, that's pretentious. So this is literally what you're going to get at Mecum, which is the biggest auction, and there are some 80s. Oh, yeah, Rivy, 15,000. That's a car that nobody was talking about. These Rivies.
What year is it? What year is that?
82. That actually is a very. It's not a performance car, but that's something.
That's a nice car. Yeah.
Exactly. The Monte Carlos with front wheel drive. I don't see any Thunderbirds on here. There are no Thunderbirds run through. Lots. Here's that Chevy Impala SS, the 5.7. Yep, Dodge Diplomat for the win. Absolutely. Dodge D100 pickup.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a cool truck. $16,000. Didn't sell. Wow. Here's a Chevrolet Monte Carlo standing still. Oh, a turbocharged 6-liter, so they actually made it fast. Cool. Actually, it was so funny. I was on Facebook the other day, and I almost replied. They had the taillights for those Monte Carlos in the 80s, and they say, which one looks better? And I wanted to comment. I held my breath. It's like, I wouldn't know because I've never seen them before. I've never seen the taillights in that car. I used to race those with my Charger with the 318 and beat them. That's how slow those cars are. With the stock engines. They're pigs. They look cool. So yeah, this is what you're going to be finding at Mecum for 80s and 90s cars. And a lot of trucks, a lot of Mustangs, a lot of Corvettes. And every once in a while you get something kind of neat coming through. Yeah, a Riata convertible. Damn. $2,700 didn't sell.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it looks a mess though. The car looks a mess.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Let's see how bad this car is.
But I mean, God. Not that I want that, but that's
I don't know why the hood is like the hood's
that's bad.
I don't know if the hood's jacked.
No, those are the headlights.
Cars. No, the hood's popped up.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, see, it's not sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they just took bad pictures, but this is actually a pretty neat car.
It was. It was a attempt.
And look, it has the 3800 in it. It's a good engine.
Yeah.
I know.
But what was another downfall? Let's make it front-wheel drive like every other thing instead of going the extra inch to make it a real roadster.
Yeah, yeah, it's a neat looking car, but that was a bargain. Didn't sell.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so this is where we are with 80s and 90s collectibles. It's really, oh my God, a Chevrolet Caravan Diplomata. Good Lord. So that's like a South American car. That's cool.
Ooh.
Harley Davidson, F-150 Harley Davidson. $28,000. Those the F-150s though, any special edition F-150 from the 90s will probably be a collector.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Dakotas definitely no Dakotas for sale if you notice.
Yeah.
No Dakotas, which is telling me a lot. The CJ7s, I think they've about peaked. I don't think I'm really not seeing much more on them. The D150, all these Dodge pickups trucks too, they're still bargains for the most part. You know, because there weren't a lot of them, and you could get a lot of parts for them. Well, I mean, engine parts, body parts, you can't get anything. So here's another 2500 Ram. Oh, look at that. The 81 Trans Am SE Coupe with the big flaming chicken.
Mm.
So, yeah. So, Hennessy Viper, 52 grand. That's cheap. Honestly, that's cheap. That's a rare car. Grand National. 30,000 for a Grand National, also quite cheap. So, I mean, this is what's there, but I mean, not a lot of. Here we go, Dodge Daytona Turbo Hatchback, 13,000. So there you go. I passed the Dakota. Oh, damn it! Let me go. Wait, let me see. I got to find the Dakota. There was a Dakota on here. Let's see. Dakota. Oh, my God, there is one. There it is. Oh, wow. It's a Shelby. $14,000. Wow. And it's just a regular Shelby. It's not even a convertible. And it's a 30,000 mile vehicle.
What year is it? 93?
89. It's one of the
89.
first years, I believe. 89. Wow. That is awesome. One of 1,500. Only one of 995 in red. Well, that means the other color is rarer, but still.
Yeah.
Throttle body fuel injection. Good Lord. But yeah, so this is okay. But yeah, this car, yep, it was. Yeah, you're right. It was a Shelby. I didn't see it. So this is actually
that's cool.
These are actually pretty collectible. You know, like I said, I think the pickup trucks. Honestly, pickup trucks may be what's going to be the thing. Or the brawler sedans that they had in the 90s are going to be more of a thing than the coupes, because I just think that there's more you can do with it. Like this Dakota, you can do so much with it. Even though it's a Shelby, you can still do things, hop up the engine on the inside and people can't see it and make it a faster vehicle, but it still looks stock. So it's you know, there's a lot you can actually do with this thing, and it actually is pretty quick, and it still presents well. So, and think about it, this vehicle is 37 years old.
Yeah.
Just think about that for a second. So it is a pure collectible. So I mean, that's pretty neat. Yeah, that list was once again the insanity.
I don't think you finished it up yet.
No, I didn't. Okay, so the next one is friggin' mind numbing. A Volvo C70. Why? I don't think there's going to be any demand for this vehicle. There hasn't been any yet, and it's owned by a Chinese company now.
Yep.
Mercedes-Benz C43 AMG, possibly.
That's a baller.
Yeah, it's a baller car. I could see that. Okay. Audi A4, yes and no. The Audis, they suffer from maintenance problems. Like literally, you got to take this entire front clip off to do like work on the engine because it's all-wheel drive, but built like a front-wheel drive. Neat car, but yeah, I could see that having a following. And then Subaru Legacy Outback. No. I just don't. No. Just no. No. Cadillac STS. This is when they got rid of the Eldorado name and called it an STS. Because that's literally what they did. They made a 2-door and a 4-door version. And it was silly. It has a North Star V8 in it. Immediately. 4.6. Yeah. Immediately, no. So Seville luxury sedan or the Seville touring sedan, whatever. and they got rid of all their great names in the early 80s, and it has this North Star engine in it, which is just an absolute nightmare. I have no idea who would want to collect this car. That North Star is just too much of a problem.
And
way
again,
too much of a
front-wheel
problem.
drive.
And front-wheel drive, but that North Star is such a problem.
Oh, it is.
And you can't swap it. So the list, once again, though, I mean, it's so hard in the 90s to pick cars because there really aren't a lot of cars. I mean, that's the thing. There really aren't a lot, especially American cars. There really aren't a lot of them. We had picked up a few of them. Square body Chevy. Wait, what? Square body Chevy trucks are wildly popular with young guys. Yeah, I noticed that. Actually, all pickups, the square bodies, yeah, those are the ones that we used to just throw away because nobody wanted them. And now, of course, they're. But I think pickup trucks in general are much more in fashion with people my age and younger, especially if you can't get an older car. Because that Chevy square body, you can swap the engine on it because they're old enough. You can put an LS in it. You know, you can change the ride height. You know, you can it looks good if you do a custom paint on it. You know, you can put a topper on the back. You can do a lot of things to that truck and, you know, really make it kind of cool. You can make it really cool and pretty fast. Because it also accept the Chevy. You could put I think you could put the big rear end in. You could put the 10 bolt in that and absolutely just, you know, ball with that thing. And it could be a really fast vehicle because it doesn't weigh anything. It's a pickup truck.
And what's funny is that a lot of them were customized. Like our friend Dan, he has his dad's 96 still. And that 350 is, as you know, pretty much bulletproof. But he repainted it about 10 years ago in a non-refrigerator white. It's like it was like a pearlescent white, and of course it's obviously an old vehicle. He actually uses it for real tasks, but he's had people offer him left and right if he wants to sell it because it's a flare side too. It's not a whatever,
it's,
you know,
it's a flare. Wait, not a step side. It's a flare side.
Yeah, the step side's the flat side, right? Is that right?
No, the step side has a step on it. So it's a flare side has a step.
Okay, so yeah, so he has the big fenders on it. Yeah.
Oh wow, 12 bolt. I knew it was something with many bolts. I don't know Chevy stuff that well, but that fits in those trucks. And I mean honestly, if you want, they used to be cheap, but now they're not. But the same thing with the F-150s from the 90s. Those F-150s from the 90s, I mean, they already have pretty heavy running gear in them. They're actually not big like the newer ones. You know, they were actually normal sized. But you can go and get, you know, it's a Ford. So you can go and get a 351, put it in the truck. You could have something pretty fast. And you know, then they were still using the AODs in the 90s, so they weren't using anything exotic. Hell, you can just go get a 302 and supercharge it. The AOD should handle that without blowing up, or you could put a stick in it because sticks were available back then, and you can make it fit. Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot that, and even with the Dodge trucks, which are a little bit harder because there's just not as many parts, but still, a Dodge pickup in the 90s had to get a roller 360 in it. You're only a few steps away from making it fast. So I mean, and there's a lot of goodies you can actually do to that truck because Dodge didn't change designs very often. If you get the pre-design, that design was all the way back to the early 70s. You realize that when they finally changed the design, it had been the same design for over 20 years. So a lot of that stuff kind of you can keep modifying and putting in there. So honestly, the more I think about it, cars are really the 90s cars are not going to be the way to go.
No, and the truck is let's face it, even though they resell all they want, a truck still is a truck, right? I mean, so whether it be the square bodies or the Dodges, or even like the more modern F-150s, like let's say the early 2000s, like the more middle squared off style, it's almost like it could become now, as we talked about earlier, the modern hot rod, because you're taking the older vehicle, you have parts available, they're plentiful. You can swap things out. You can put different rims on it. They fit easily. There's plenty of parts for the stuff. Put a topper, make it customized, and it's versatile. So that yes, they definitely and I think too, like I said, they're almost a timeless look, no matter what.
Yeah,
I mean, somewhere off kilter. Yeah, they're almost timeless. I mean, that I don't count like those mid-2000s Chevy with the angry face. That's very dated, in my opinion. But think about that Cadillac, for example. When it came out, it was that new, crisp, kind of catty look, sharp. But all these years later, it just doesn't wear.
It looks old.
Okay.
Same thing with the Mustang.
Very old.
Same thing with the 90s Mustang. It looks old. I mean, it looks like an old. It really looks dated. It doesn't have a classic look. It looks dated. And the pickup trucks actually can avoid looking dated, which is really strange. But pickup trucks avoid that whole thing. Even the Shelby, even the Dakotas, they're not really dated looking. They look classic. Actually, tonight I saw a late 80s, early 80s Ford Ranger.
Oh, like the big size style one, like the Ranger package?
No, it was the first smaller one. The square Rangers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, so I saw one of those. It was like, that was cool. Those Chevy trucks are very popular now too. Cats, I don't even understand that. That angry face.
Yeah,
but then again,
but everything in the 2000s had that look. That mid 2000s, I don't know, it just has a.
Well, I mean, just from the comments I see on the videos, it's just honestly, one thing about they actually Ford designed it. It was the same as the B2000. I mean, but they're both. It was a Ford truck. Mazda didn't design any of it.
Yeah. Yep, everything Mazda, whether the Tribute, they're all the same thing.
So, and Rooney's point I was getting at, they're cheap and you can, and that's kind of what it is, because it's hard to take a modern car and do much to it, because the trucks were behind in a lot of the the nanny stuff. They were behind, so you can do a lot more to it. Yeah. So, LS power. Yep. It does have an L. Those 2000s do have an LS in them. So I mean, you can hot rod the hell out of that. There is that, but I don't know. But right now, I'm really because this is something that has just been an ongoing question constantly. Every time I have any video about just prices of the cars, fixing the old cars, getting parts, it always. But the thing is, the solutions aren't very straightforward, especially if you want an American vehicle, because I mean, honestly, I can easily tell you that if you want a 90s classic car, you go buy a BMW. I mean, literally, you can literally go on your computer and order everything for that car and have it shipped to your house. You don't need no questions asked. It will come. You will be able to find. Hell, you could go to Napa and get parts for that car. The big Napas have parts for BMWs, and
Dennis, I think, not to be philosophical here, and I know they're newer cars still. I know it's a cliche term, but some of these cars, especially the trucks, still have a bit of soul to them versus a brand new car. And look, I like brand new cars. I've said it over and over again for XYZ reasons. but they don't. They're cool. They're this. I get compliments on mine. Oh, it's futuristic, but there's still something about like your E30. It's so mechanical still. It's a newish car, but it's mechanical. That Grand National, it has a soul. It might have been built like whatever. Okay, yeah. GM's car, crap, whatever. There was issues back then. A lot of issues. Even my old '78 Chevy, there was something about the soul and people making them. Dan's truck. That's a truck. That's got soul to it, and I do think that plays a little bit into, especially in our age group, the nostalgia aspect.
Right.
But that Cadillac, I mean, I look at it and go, oh, I remember they were new and this and that. But again, I could never afford that. Like we talk about doing all that. But your cars we're talking about, the ones that are popular still have mechanical soul to them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a whole part of it. And I think that's it's going to make it harder for the newer stuff. Good night, Viper. Good to see you. I think that's what really going to make it very difficult as we go forward for anything past 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
That's where I just can't. They're too reliant on electronics, and electronics in cars end up being the weakest part of the car. It isn't the engine; it's the electronics, and that's why I always tell. I actually even made a video on Hellcats are not collector cars. Don't put it away and keep 23 miles on it. In 10 years, no one's going to want it. And I really mean that. No one's going to want it, because to fix that car, it will break the bank. Because to fix it now, like if you have one out of warranty and you blow the engine up, it's 30 grand. Have a nice day. I mean, unless you can find a junk one. But I mean, you're looking at a nightmare of to fix that car. And it's not to me, it's not. You're drooling on me. Oh, that's gross. My cat. She gets a little excited and she drools. It's disgusting.
Oh wow.
Here we go. Play TV bought a 2003 Mark IV Jetta manual 2-liter mint with 13 grand. Actually, those Jettas are collectible. They're very collectible. That is literally a car that has a following that's insane. And plus, they get modified very easily. There's a huge aftermarket. And I actually had one. I was in my E30 and I had one roll up next to me. I could hear that the turbo because he would just spin it up. And I'm like, yeah, no. He literally walked away from me. I mean, it was actually funny. It was just whatever, because I knew he was just going to actually tromp me. But I mean, he disappeared. I mean, this thing was psychotically fast. But those are very, very collectible cars, just because there's a huge following, and they were a whole hot hatch. They were literally the whole. I mean, they made that market. Oh yeah, it's 20 cents. Well, I can solder new capacitors. I got a leg up on most of the populace. Yes, if you can do electronics work, yeah, you can keep the stuff running. I'm okay at it, but I'm not a fan of doing that. I've actually worked on the circuit board on my E30. I had to redo the dash one, because as time goes on, even the solder starts coming apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when the vibrations, solder actually starts coming apart in these cars. And that's one of the things with the computers, is the solder can start coming apart. It can be a minor thing, but you have to go in and actually fix it. So yeah, all my entire cluster, I refloated all the solder in there. It took me like 2 hours. It was miserably tedious. But I can't do that on the E36.
The GTI, that's another one.
Oh, the GTI, that is huge following. Another hot little 4-cylinder car that that's another hot hatch. And that car is just absolutely baller, and once again, huge following. Huge aftermarket, huge following. But once again, not an American car, German car.
Right. No, I know.
In the American cars, it's actually very it's very, very dead. Once you got past the 70s, it really it's far and few between. There's a few here and there, but it's really not. It's not a big thing. Oh, here it is. 20-cent motor. A common problem with German cars, it seems, the gauge clusters cracking. Yeah, I the way I looked at the way they did the solder on the car, it wasn't heavy. You know what I mean? It was good. It was clean, but it's not like on my Charger where they soldered stuff where it's like, holy Christ, they took, they used an entire thing of solder to do the cluster. No, they just did just a little, and it's like, I think that's part of it. Plus, the other thing is E30s are a lot of the German cars, especially performance ones, they're a little rough. I mean, they're not. The performance ones are not smooth. So that with that solder, well, the vibration, yeah, not the best. But yeah, it's very common. Actually, 95, the cluster, when the lights are on, it's driving me insane. I can't figure it out. The cluster turns off when the lights are on. Like literally, the cluster turns off, dead, and then and it turns back on, and everything's working. A lot of times, the gas gauge takes a break, and capacitors leak, and that contaminates the board with crusty stuff. Yeah, capacitors exploding, not a good thing. Kind of messy. But yeah, so this is what this dash does. So a lot of times the gas gauge just turns off. And we say, oh, it's taking a lunch break. And then it comes back on. But the thing is, the miles to empty still works. So it's in the cluster. And I can't figure out where the ground problem is because there's a grounding problem. I can't find it. I can't open that cluster up. Those clusters are sealed from the back.
Oh, is it like mine in the Z3, that for the one made by VDO?
Yep, is literally it's that same design.
Yes.
I have a spare one, but you can't transfer the miles over.
I know. I got a beautiful spare one, but nope. I know.
I have two spares. God gave me two of them, and I'm like, I don't want to put it in because I don't know the miles of this one. I know the miles of the car. It's 180 something thousand miles, and I'm like, I don't want to put another one in there.
Like,
even though Florida,
even
though Florida said that the odometer wasn't right, and I'm like,
TMU.
But I'm like, it's the original odometer. It doesn't even have the mark on there. It's the original.
No, but a lot of times they look at it like if it's over 100,000 miles in that age, they just said, because no, mine's right, but they still sometimes put TMU, which is how it is.
I found that embarrassed. I found it. I was a little upset. I'm like, no, that's real miles on this thing.
Yeah,
trust me.
But my problem is that where it has the odometer and then the oil readiness light, whatever. It's the plastic in front of it over the years and humidity and stuff has developed a cataract, you might say, and it's warped. So I can kind of read my 101,000 something, but I can't just replace the screen because it's all sealed. And I'm like, I'm not pulling it out. Dan's like, let's swap it. I'm like, I don't want the green light. I don't want it.
So here, actually, I don't get the green light because I have an OBD1.
Oh.
But here's the thing, though. This is another problem with modern cars, the dashes, because they're all electronic and they all actually are tied into the OBD2 system. And yeah. So that's something else that's going to be I think a problem going down the road, which is it's just kind of bad.
And not to get off the rails on this, I was watching Scotty Kilmore, and remember how the old joke was rolling back the odometer and then made it where if you rolled it back, it scraped the numbers. You would think with modern technology, they've already figured it's actually easier to juke the numbers on like my dashboard in Kona than our rolling back or even that digital line. Okay,
so but
terrible.
Here's the thing, though, and I know from BMW that it's hard coded into the computer unless they found a way to get in there because.
Maybe not BMW and stuff, but I would not surprise me if somehow someone cracked the code for a Kia, Hyundai, Ford. Who knows? But it's just funny how we think we're actually going backwards on that. So, whatever.
All right. So 20-cent Motors talking about something I did every year. They had the BMW driving event, and they used to come I missed this year. Actually, I missed this year. I was out of town, but they go over to the over in St. Petersburg to where the dog track was, and they had every car.
I did that.
And I loved it because they gave me a 240 to just take out on the road. So I got I had a 240, and actually it was 235 because it was before that, but still it was a 235. And he basically said, "Here's your route. This is where you go. Okay, have fun." So literally, I went out, turned all the traction control off on this car, basically put it into race mode, and came around the corner and had it in a full slide. Literally, I made a right-hand turn and was looking out the driver's window with that car. I was literally smoking the tires as I was going around the corner. Loved every second. I loved that thing. And then they had the autocross course too. They also did an autocross course, which was absolutely just a blast. Absolutely just a blast because you beat the hell out of the car. You just run through the whole thing. That's
cool. You still do that. I did it once 30 years ago. I got invited because I would mail all that stuff in from Motor Trend or whatever.
Yep.
And Mr. Pluto in his 78 Impala shows up with all these people that can actually afford BMWs. And I drove the 7 Series. It was a comparison test with Jag, Mercedes, Lexus. I'm driving a 750 IL at 20 and could not even think about it. It was a great time.
So they used to really be great, BMW. Oh, God, this is years ago. They actually would do a lot of comparison things, but they also, when the 6 Series convertible came out, the new one, the 650, they actually had those there. And I knew everybody at the dealership, and they go, "Okay, you can just take it out." So they handed it to me, and I, of course, know everything about the car. So I went there and I put it into Sport Plus. So Sport Plus on those BMWs basically turns everything off, and no traction control, no stability control. Literally, you have just unfettered power, and this is an 850, so this is a twin turbo V8. I pull out of Reeves down in Tampa. I pull out. I literally get the car straight. I'm rolling, and then I hammer it. I laid rubber for a good 150 feet with that car. Absolutely an animal. And they didn't care. Literally an animal. That thing just absolutely was terrifying how fast it was. And such a giant car. Oh my God. But it was just a beast. Utter beast. I mean, just so much fun. But I love those events. And then they had one where they compared the full-size cars. So they had a Porsche Panorama, a CL63 Mercedes, and then this is when they had the 850 coupes out, the 4-door, the 850 4-door.
Oh,
and so you drove all 3 of those cars. I hated the Porsche. The Porsche Panorama is a terrible car. I don't know who the hell buys these cars. I don't know who would want this car. It did not feel like a Porsche. It was a terrible drive. It was quick, but it just was awkward. Everything about the car was awkward on the inside. And this is when my daughter was younger. As soon as the back seat, she didn't like the back seat in that car at all. She loved the CL63 because it had power reclining back seats. She loved that car. And literally, that was the supercharged V8 one. That car was terrifying. For a 4-door sedan, that car was scary. Like, we went up the on-ramp.
Those are nice.
We went up the on-ramp. I actually smoked the tires up the on-ramp. I mean, it felt like a sledgehammer. Every time you hit the gas, it was a sledgehammer.
Wow.
Absolute beast. The BMW was okay. It kind of fell in between. But my dollars for donuts, that Mercedes, I love that car. I absolutely positively loved that car because it was such an animal, but it had massage seats in it. I'm like, this thing's a beast. Yet it's like, I'm comfortable. I literally could have driven that car cross country. Literally could have driven that cross country without even thinking. And the back seat was so big, it was gigantic. It was like a couch. And that was the only one with that rounded roof that had headroom in the back. The BMW was terrible. The rear seat, the rear on those 4-door coupes,
Yeah.
that there's no headroom. It literally terrible. Now that CL63, that actually could be. I mean, granted, it's had some modern car problems, but that actually could be a collectible because it's such an animal. I mean, it's literally something you don't get today. It's an animal. There's nothing. It's unrefined. It is literally a supercharger on top of a overworked the V8, and it has 4 doors. And so, I mean, that is something that could be, but the electronics are the limiting factor. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When you see them smile, oh, I love this. When you see a smile on their face in a Beamer or a Merc, they got a massage on. Yeah. the little hands. So yeah, so this was very fascinating. I think that we have come to the conclusion on the bombshell is that basically for the 80s and 90s, go get a pickup truck. So that's pretty much that's the bombshell from tonight. Hopefully, if anybody sees Tim Kuniskis, please drop me a line. I'd like to know if he's still part of the company or if he's just in hiding because it's such a disaster. I don't know. And and I have a bunch more videos. I have my merit videos, which I'm working on. There's the burnouts weren't as plentiful this year, which is weird, but there was 160 cars. And I do talk to merit, and I do have a few. I have a thing on that Chrysler 300G. So it was kind of it's interesting, but so that will be coming out maybe the next week or so. It's just a lot. It's like 2 hours of video to edit, and we're going to continue though on keeping your old cars running because good Lord, it is now a challenge. As people, in my comments, I see this at least once every 2-3 days. Welcome to Cuba. Actually, I feel like we're there. I'm having to weld stuff. I'm having to make things. Yeah, and the 3D printer. And this is truly the final thought for tonight. The 3D printer is going to change our hobby. It is literally going to change our hobby. It is going to be something that is going to absolutely, it is absolutely going to be something that is going to make a lot of things change, especially as the technology changes and you could build more and more solid things. Because if you start building heat resistant stuff with it, and that's not that far away, you're looking at a whole new world of stuff. So that's where we are. And thank you, 20 Cent Motor. Thank you very much. It's not going to be depressing. I try not to make it depressing on this stuff. It's tough, but there's always a silver lining. It's somewhere to be found. Remember, I've had a Chrysler product for 40 years. I trust me, I can find a silver lining anywhere.
Yeah, it's the off stitching they did at the factory.
Yeah. I do. I work on Chrysler. I work on Chrysler Electrical. Nothing can bother me. So that's where we are. I'll have a couple of shorts coming out at the end of this week, and another new video hopefully on Tuesday, unless something goes weird. But yeah, another new video on Tuesday. And so we also now crossed 4,000 subscribers.
Excellent.
Really, I am very pleased. I'm happy for every last one of you. Thank you very much. You make it's wonderful. Thank you. And it's the only time I get to really say thank you for that. So that's a big deal. So I'm pretty happy, and I'm making good stuff. Then I'm happy about that. So anything else going on with you, Fluno?
No, I will. So I'll wrap up with a funny story. Actually, so I watched the Kona today. The Z3 was last week, and I was like, it's a beautiful day. Had a lot of yard work this weekend. Beautiful weather. But I'm like, you know what? I was off, so I had to do errands and this and that. But I'm like, it's early. I'm gonna wash the Kona. Obviously, it's almost like a midnight blue, and that's very important in the story. So I get done this and that. I'm washing it all up and really making it look nice. I didn't do the interior. I didn't want to worry about that. And today is garbage day as well here. So one thing nice about Ocala is that they do. You can put all your yard stuff on the front, and they'll come by and pick it up. And that's, tree trimmings, leaves, whatever. It's really a nice service they have. No bags. You just lay it up front. They collect it all up. So this weekend, my neighbor helped me with tons of magnolia leaves by riding around and putting it in front of his yard, a big mountain of leaves, right? So
okay.
I've washed the vehicle. This and that is done. I have about 90% of it dried. And here comes this truck coming by. And I was thinking, how are they going to pick up these leaves whenever they come with their scooper or whatever? Well, here we have a huge vacuum truck. Okay. And this big thing, this thing swings out. It's like a massive tube, like a vacuum, like when you're a wand, and it starts sucking up the leaves. Well, like old school vacuums with bags versus the canister, the truck itself is obviously not sealed. So as it's pulling up the leaves in our dry weather and this and that, it's creating a lot of dust. And the breeze picks up out of nowhere. And literally it dusts all over my freshly washed dark color. Not the Z3 silver, my dark car. And I'm literally standing there and now watching the work be all done. I just waited now, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I literally rehosed the vehicle and I dried it off of all times.
That's the way it works.
I mean, if it rains tomorrow, oh well, it's gonna always happen. But I just found it so get out my hat. I wasn't mad. I'm like, oh, that's how they do it. And it just was dusting, and it just happened to be catching, and it was just enough for me to say, nope, I am not letting this stand.
Your car got pollinated. It's gonna make flowers.
They got pollinated, and you know what? There was just a funny story.
It's gonna make fruit now.
It's gonna make fruit. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I was I just want to wrap up on that.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna be able to go drag racing this weekend because it's supposed to finally start raining on the day I was gonna go drag racing.
Of course, there you go. It works out that way. There you go. So a little bit of
if you didn't watch it, the leaves would still be there. Exactly. Yeah. So if you didn't wash it, the leaves would still be there.
Absolutely. Right. You can't win. It's gonna.
So hopefully at the end of May, I'll be able to go down to drag race because I need to. At this point, I really need to run the car because I'm doing a competitive class in September. And the summertime is just not a good time to do that. So that's going to be coming up soon. And all right. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. And as always, if you have something cool or something fun, take it out because you'll make someone's day, probably be your own. And catch you really soon. Share it with your friends. Bye-bye. If you liked what you saw, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, probably your own.